All right, everyone, we got some exciting news today, including just a really nice message from what we're hearing from third-party partners for 2026 and beyond when it comes to Switch 2 support. Things are just, man, if Nintendo, at least in terms of just getting third parties on board, could probably not have done a better job with Switch 2, regardless of what you think about the rest of their business practices, because from the sounds of it, you could pretty much expect nearly everything to be coming to Switch 2 in the next 3 to 4 years. That being said, folks, we also have some great news for folks in Japan. It looks like they're finally getting a super steady flow of stock to their retailers. We got to go over that and where that's coming from with some images and proof and more. Look, guys, it's going to be a busy day. Before we dive in, I just want to let you know we are giving away 3 copies of Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade for Nintendo Switch 2. All you got to do is be 18 or older to enter. Then click the link down in the pinned comment or to the description. Also, hey, look, guys, we're on a road to 170,000 subscribers. So I would appreciate if you would subscribe to the channel. And let's go ahead and dive right into our first story. So this comes from user Genki_JPN, and he says Switch 2 is finally in stock at many Japanese retailers. Until recently, it has been near impossible to walk into a store and buy one. Demand is still high, and I saw quite a few people lining up to buy one. With the extra availability over the holidays, the sales will go crazy in Japan. And he shows some advertisements and proof of what's going on, and this seems like they're getting away from the lottery system. You see the in stock things has definitely got the English translation there on the sign, and you're seeing it over here as well. They're still keeping all the bundles in stock, by the way. That includes Legends EA, which we have not had restocked in the US yet. So the point is, you look at this, and that's good signs for Japanese users not having to fight anymore to get one. And 2, for the sales. We just saw a 200,000 sale week last week in Japan, or at least the week before. Sorry, we'll get the sales for this past week, this upcoming Thursday. We'll actually also have sales for, the Circana data. We're going to have that for the US here this Wednesday too. But man, this is just nothing but great news for those people that live in Japan. I'm really happy it's going to be readily available for you to get, like it has been over here in the United States for some time. So I'm very curious to see how well the sales do without, supply constraints really being there. That being said, Nintendo likes to do little sneaky things with little patches here and there that often go unnoticed. And one of those sneaky things is fixing games that have had issues with backwards compatibility, and they did it again. So Nintendo fixes more games, and the games they have fixed up now include Blade of Darkness, Game Dev Story++, Little Nightmares Complete Edition, Miitopia, Moji Yugi, Resident Evil 4, Solid Void, Nature Puzzles, Sports Party, Streets of Rage 4, and Venture Towns. I do like that Nintendo has a small, dedicated team consistently working to fix all backwards compatibility issues with games. This is just great. What can I say? Some people don't think Nintendo needs to do this. Some people think Nintendo needs to do more of it. Either way, I like that Nintendo is dedicated to eventually having the entire Nintendo Switch 1 library, within reason, a couple exceptions, work just fine on Switch 2. Next up, man, we had a really surprise announcement today. Divinity Original Sin 2 just got a Switch 2 edition. That's right. Here we are. It's now available. And here we go. This is from an overview of what the game says. Says from the creators of Baldur's Gate 3, experience the world of Divinity in this epic adventure where your choices shape fate itself. The divine is dead. The void approaches and the powers lying dormant within. You are soon to awaken. Choose your role in a BAFTA-winning story and explore a world that reacts to who you are and the choices you make. With 5 races to choose from and an adventure playable solo or as a party of up to 4, lay waste to an oppressive order in a world of afraid of magic. Become the god the world so desperately needs. Divinity Original Sin 2 Definitive Edition is the most complete version of the game. And they have a whole trailer for it as well. But here's the big thing with this one. And, it can be a free upgrade, which is also, I just want to let you know, if you own it on Switch 1, you can get a free upgrade. It does have 60 FPS. Look, guys, announcements like this are always awesome, especially when they come out of nowhere. This is what you would call a shadow drop. The Switch 2 edition being available right now today. I've already seen people playing it, testing it. Looks like it's a very good version of the game. And look, if you already own it on Switch 1, it's literally free to get. So a no-brainer. That said, this is a 93 overall Metacritic game. I just have to say, Divinity Original Sin 2, look, these are the guys that made Baldur's Gate 3. And people just, oh, we only know Larian Studios because of BG3. Nah, man, Divinity Original Sin, this is their IP, and they're very good. The things that were doing with Baldur's Gate, they were doing it here first. So, just throwing that out there, guys. If you guys want to go ahead and check that out. Again, links down in the description. Next up, we have to talk about Elder Scrolls. How about, the Skyrim Anniversary Edition, Switch 2? There's been some issues with input latency and controller problems that some people have, I've seen some posts on Reddit, but I haven't really covered it extensively because I wasn't really sure what was going on. Well, Bethesda's support page is now updated with a potential fix and at least acknowledgement that they're aware there seems to be a latency issue. So, this is off the Bethesda support page. So what do I do if I'm experiencing input lag on the Switch 2 in Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim Anniversary Edition? It says, we are investigating reports that some players are experiencing input lag on the Switch 2. While this is being investigated, if you're experiencing this issue, pause the game, go to settings, then gameplay, then gestures, attack, and toggle this to off. If you are experiencing this issue and would like to receive updates on this topic, log to the help website. So basically, they don't know what the problem is. They do think potentially turning off the gesture attacks will fix it. The gesture attacks are actually one of the coolest additions that we got to the game back on Switch, but we'll have to wait and see if this is the real fix and that's what all the issue is, or if they just need to do some further tweaking for Switch 2 specifically. Again, input latency can be really hard to tackle at times, but them knowing it's a latency issue at least lets them know where to look for solutions. Now, this is where things get really interesting. So it was really exciting when those Tomb Raider games were dropped pretty much out of nowhere, and we had Switch 2 versions of them, and that was really cool. But they got kind of knocked a bit. Some people didn't think the versions were good enough, all of that. Well, those aren't the final versions of the game. In a surprise that probably shouldn't shock anyone because this is the AAA gaming space we're talking about. There's going to be new additions and changes coming to the Switch 2 version of the Tomb Raider games. Let's get into this. Come from Nintendo, so we are translating here. Where it says, a few weeks ago, we saw that the surprise release of Tomb Raider Definitive Edition on Nintendo Switch and Switch 2, the Lara Croft reboot, arrived on both consoles, with a version that, while functional, falls short of what the Switch 2 could offer. Therefore, Aspyr has confirmed that they will be adding improvements to the game soon. Jordan Reese, a product manager at Aspyr, explained this in an interview with Nintendo Everything. He clarified that the port isn't simply a Switch adaptation, then ported to the Switch 2, but rather that they first worked on a Switch architecture and then applied improvements for the Switch 2. And he says, for the Switch 2 version, we didn't just increase the resolution, we used the new hardware capabilities to achieve 60 FPS. While some more complex PS4, Xbox One graphics features were deprioritized to maintain that solid performance, the result is a gorgeous and playable version that feels fantastic in your hands. We believe that performance and fluidity are fundamental to a portable experience, and this explanation makes a little more sense of the outcome of this version, but it quickly concludes by adding what many players were expecting. They will be applying, quote-unquote, game improvements through patches over time to guarantee the best possible experience on both Switch and Switch 2. It's unknown what kind of improvements will be added, but obviously they are looking to do something to make fans even more happy with their purchase. Look, guys, I don't know what's going to happen with these games. Obviously, I'm also really looking forward to the remake of the OG that's coming up, and obviously the brand new one whenever we get more information. But hey, you know what? Updates are always good, especially since they're probably going to be free. Speaking of free updates, how about Assassin's Creed Shadows getting a Switch 2 update and for other systems as well? Title update 1.1.7 is coming. Now, I told you guys previously it was going to be coming this week, and now we know when. It's actually going to be out here in a couple days. So it says, hello, everyone. Tomorrow, December 16th, we'll be releasing the title update 1.1.7 for Assassin's Creed Shadows. They give the time zones there, 9 a.m. Eastern for us. The Nintendo Switch 2 version of the update will be released on December 17th. So the Switch 2 version is coming a day later. Again, same time. Want to discuss the title update with your fellow community members? They have a place you can do that on their Discord server. So here are the patch sizes. You can see the different ones. The Switch 2 one's going to be 3.66. Actually, the smallest of the patch sizes, so that's interesting. So there's going to be new finisher animations. They're going to do this, Animus Rift Lost and Found. So some new content. New project as well, vault access, new resources. So they're adding some new content in, which is always nice to see. But then we get to the bug fixes and improvements. So they're going to improve the various FPS issues. So the frame rate, inconsistent frame rate stuff could get fixed here. They're going to fix the crashing problem people have been saying they've had. Yes, they're aware of it, and they're going to have it fixed here in 2 days. Fixed various visual issues that people have complained about. Improved the touchscreen experience. Fixed an issue where players were asking to connect to a controller when the Switch 2 was docked or undocked, even if the controllers were already connected. Resolved an issue where the players would remain in an infinite black screen after creating a Ubisoft Connect account or login and was already existing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So they fixed that problem as well, which obviously those are all annoying issues, but hey, the FPS one's obviously the biggest one here because we want to see the improvements here. They also go through some exploits and some other bugs they fixed in general with the gameplay and some other stuff. Adjusted some post-facial animations, corrected some UI elements, the online store, PC stuff only, etc. So yeah, it's a pretty significant patch. And I guess for Switch 2, the improvements in performance and fixing the crashes, these are like the 2 biggest ones that would suddenly take this game from oh man, we gotta maybe wait, and to oh yeah, maybe it's okay to buy now. So obviously, this may or may not make you interested in this version of the game for Switch 2. I do have a copy, but I haven't had a chance to boot it up yet. Still trying to finish up Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. But hey, guys, that's what's going on with Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now, this last thing we're going to talk about here is something I hinted at the very beginning, and that was, we should really be excited about the future with third-party games on Switch 2, and we're getting this from Paul Gale. Now, Paul Gale Network is not just a personal friend of mine. He is someone who attends the Game Awards every single year and usually goes to the after party. He's got various photos up on his social media right now of people he met, including, by the way, Gameberg Classic. That's right, co-host of the Nintendo podcast. Shout out, buddy. You got a new video out today. You guys should go check that out. That said, wow. What are we talking about? The fact that he talked to some people at the Game Awards, and here's what they had to say. My takeaway from speaking with developers at the Game Awards was for an optimistic 2026. A lot of titles are in development across multiple consoles, including plenty not revealed Thursday night. Also, some specifically confirmed to have Switch 2 projects underway, but they will be revealed at another time. I think 2026 is going to be a stellar year for the industry. Look back at this, though. Specifically confirmed to have Switch 2 projects underway. A lot of titles in development. Multiple consoles. This is good stuff. Again, it's just furthers the conversation that we're going to get more and more third-party games coming to Switch 2 as time moves on, as the platform continues to sell, yada, yada. And also probably as more AAA games try to avoid the GTA 6 window of release. Just got a feeling that's going to be a thing. So the games might come out sooner than you might think. So we'll have to wait and see. All right, guys, that's going to do it. That's all I got for you today. I hope you have a wonderful and joyous week. After all, we're 1 week away, roughly. A little, okay, technically not 1 week. But look, Christmas is next week. All right, everyone. And I celebrate it. Our family celebrates it. So whatever you're celebrating, or if you're not celebrating, just go be with your family this holiday season and let them know you love them. Catch you guys in the next video.